Okay, so can you guys hear me at all? Just checking. Awesome. There seems to be quite a delay, but we'll roll with that. I'll just have to be aware of that you are a long time behind me. So for those of you who used to watch my live streams back several months ago, when I started my YouTube channel, I used to do the I can't listen to myself because it's such a delay. I'll put them on later. I'm going to start with talking about the topic that I'm going to talk about. So I'll start with that. And then at the end of it, I will just answer all the questions that you may have. So today I thought that I was going to talk about Nutrisystem, because someone wanted me to have a look at different diets that people are advertising right now after Christmas and after New Year's, when we're all feeling fat and bloated and we want to lose weight. So I'm going to talk about Nutrisystem because I had a quick look at it yesterday and I was just amazed at how much sugar they are putting in their food, and they're promoting it obviously as a weight loss tool. And having a closer look, they are also doing everything they can to make people addicted or have people stay addicted to food and sugar. So that's why the title is that Nutrisystem is a high sugar diet for food addicts, because I think that if you're food addicted, Nutrisystem will really appeal to you, because you think that you can continue doing what you're doing and eat a lot of sugar and lose weight and feel great. And it's not really the case. So I will be looking at what the food contains, and I also have a few selected clips from a review that someone has done, someone who is actually diabetic and has done their diabetic program, and what he's saying about it. And I will tell you why what he's saying is totally crazy. And I'm really sad for him, because he probably thinks that this is great and is actually a good thing, because he doesn't know any better. So it's not his fault. I don't want to blame him, but he's totally misinformed and he's buying into the Nutrisystem bullshit, basically. So once I'm done with that, I will answer your questions. And I just realized that I can actually turn the volume off on my YouTube so I can hear what he's doing. So let's do that. So I'm going to start with just have a quick look at their website. So I'm going to show you what they are about, because not everyone will know what Nutrisystem is. I certainly didn't. I hadn't heard about them before yesterday. So that was just something that I looked into. And I'm going to share this with you here. So this is their website. Obviously, it's a weight loss website like anything Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or whatever. And they have this weight loss calculator. They're putting a lot of happy thin people on their website. Brilliant. So have a look at what they're doing. You can choose different kind of plans, and you pay this amount per day depending on what plan you want to be on, and they will send you the food that you're making so that you can eat that. And they also have a men's plan, a diabetes plan, and a vegetarian plan. And I thought it was interesting that they have a diabetes plan, which I would have thought would be a low carb plan, but that's not quite the case. So it works by you pretty much signing up, paying them lots of money. They will send you some foods, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And they claim that their food is healthy, the right mix of nutrients to fuel your body, plenty of healthy lean protein, high fiber, low glycemic index carbs, and no artificial sweeteners or flavors. Okay. And then I'm just gobsmacked by this. So they want you to eat every 2 to 3 hours, 6 times per day. Now, this is what I was taught about 20 years ago, and this is what I lived by. And this totally messed up my metabolism, and it fueled my food addiction, because when you're eating constantly, when you eat 6 times a day or more, or it turns out that in the end, you're not really eating 6 times a day, you're just grazing all day long. And that will mess with your hormones, with your insulin. It will mess with your brain, because you're constantly giving yourself food and you're reinforcing your behavior to respond to cravings and get that dopamine release over and over again. So you just basically making yourself addicted all day long by doing this. So this is pretty much what I wanted to show you here, I think. Yeah. So let's have a look at the video that this guy is actually, when he's talking about the diabetes plan and how brilliant it is. Let me find that one for you as well. 1 second. I have lost him. Here he is. Okay. So let's play this. Right. So this is a very interesting. So he's basically talking about how is Jojo dieting on Nutrisystem. So when you go on any diet, usually a low-calorie diet, you will lose some weight. When you start eating normal again, you will gain some weight. And every time you do this, you're pretty much putting a little bit more weight on. You're making yourself a little bit more resistant to weight loss. So clearly, this is not a system that he can live by. This is something that he is buying for a certain period of time. And most people probably wouldn't want to spend their lives eating Nutrisystem the rest of their lives. Another thing when you're on a low-calorie diet is that you are basically creating a new set point for your thyroid as well. So your thyroid might go down. And even when you start eating more food again, you have a new set point, which means that you're going to burn less calories, if you like, or use less energy. So you're going to get fatter much quicker than you would have in the past. So there's nothing good about Jojo dieting. I can't see why he thinks this is okay, that every time he goes back on the diet, he will keep losing weight. This is true for any diet. You could actually, eat any diet. It's a lot better for you if you want to do calorie restriction to do 1 meal a day and have a large meal, or fast for a while and then just, pig out on the calories. The calorie intake in total is still important, what you're eating, for a few days, and then have a couple of days of fasting again. That is a much better way of doing it. It will preserve your metabolic function much better than going on a consistent low-calorie diet like Nutrisystem, that also promotes continuous insulin release throughout the day and having your blood sugar go up and down, up and down, and up and down. So that's not ideal. So let's go back and have a look at him again. Okay, so he's talking about supplementing on Nutrisystem. So here's the problem. You are paying a price to get all the meals delivered. It's something that's called Nutrisystem, which kind of almost tells you that actually we have all the nutrients that you need in our food, and they kind of say that on the website as well, that it's nutrition and well balanced and blah blah blah. And he's talking about supplementing. So first when he mentioned this, I thought he meant actual vitamin supplements. This is not what he's talking about. I'm not going to show you that clip, but he is adding chicken strips to his pot noodle that they sent him, for example. And there are on the website, you just have to add, sometimes you have to add vegetables, you have to add eggs, or you have to add this or that to the actual meal. So it's not a complete delivery of the meals. You still have to do some food prep for some of the dishes. You have to go and shop on your own and actually get things to supplement within your diet, because they're not sending you everything that is supposed to go in that meal. So my question is, what the fuck is the point? It sounds crazy. Why would you do that? If you're going to have the meals delivered, at least deliver a full meal and not half a meal so that someone has to go and buy the rest of it. Doesn't make any sense to me. Right, let's go back again and have a look at what else he has to say. We have to go forward a little bit to there. I just don't know what to say about this. I have to have my ice cream. I just can't give it up. Okay. So clearly he is a sugar addict, or an ice cream addict, if you like. He clearly has to have ice cream. He can't give it up. And that's why he chose Nutrisystem, because it allows him to keep being a food addict and still be on some sort of diet plan. And he did show some numbers that his blood sugar has stabilized compared to what it was before he went on Nutrisystem. However, eating all day long, all the time, is not going to be good for your blood sugar. It might not have as high and low peaks as before, when he might have had similar type of food, or even worse, and much larger amounts, because now he's eating small amounts throughout the day, because that's what they're focusing on. All the meals are around 200 calories plus minus. So it's not a lot of food that you get in one portion, but instead you have to eat the whole day long. So clearly he's very happy that he can keep being an addict, because that way he doesn't have to go through the pain of actually quitting sugar or quitting processed foods. He can just keep doing it and feel good about it, because they're telling him that you can eat this guilt-free and it's all good. And that is just BS. So we have a couple of more I want you to see. So right. So I'm not really sure what to say about this. Smart carbs, bread and pasta. That does not sound very smart to me. So if you're adapting that, I will show you. I have a online here. Let's see what that has gone. Here we go. So this is a table of the glycemic index. So that is a measurement of how quickly any type of food will raise your blood glucose. Okay. So we have sucrose. This is table sugar, has a value of 65 plus minus 4. And as for an average person, everyone's different. So for some people, this is going to be a lot higher. For some people, it's going to be a lot lower, etc. So it's not a foolproof system, but we can use it anyway, just to have a look at what it would do for an average person. So sucrose has 65. That is high because it's sugar. It will go out into your blood very quickly. Now, let's have a look at white bread. Whoops, it's 75. It's higher than sugar. So eating bread will raise your blood glucose quicker than eating table sugar. Even if it's whole wheat, that 74 is still quicker than sugar. Now I'm going to give you this with the pasta. It's 49. Depending on what type of pasta it is, how thick it is, how boiled to death it is. If you have overcooked it, it's going to be a lot higher. And if you undercook it, it's going to be a bit lower. But either way, 49 is still quite high. It's not too far away from 65, which is table sugar. So I'm wondering, how can you say that there are smart carbs? I don't know. There are no smart carbs, okay? Let's put it like that. There are no smart carbs. And if there were, there definitely would not be pasta and bread. And pasta and bread both contain gluten. Gluten is not great. Right, one more. This one makes me, I don't know, I want to hit my head against the wall, but I'm not going to do that. All right, so he's eating on the hour, every hour, all day long, and he keeps losing weight. So it's all good. So he says. I remember my mom always telling me that, Pim, you're eating all the time. You're constantly eating. And I was, because I thought eating 6 times per day was a good thing. I thought that I needed to do that to keep my blood sugar stable, to keep my energy up, and I was doing a lot of exercise, so obviously I needed that. That was 20 years ago. I am sorry to tell you, you Nutri people, whatever, Nutrisystem people, this is old. This is like back in the days. Who on earth is still practicing this? Why are you actually selling this to people? It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense when you look into normal physiology. All you're doing is keeping him addicted to foods, not letting his system rest. You're fucking up his hormones, and it's not good for anything. Go and watch something from Jansson instead if you're diabetic, and do some fasting. He has really good stuff over there. And then you can eat in between. Go on a low carb diet of some sort, whether that be a keto diet or a carnivore diet, or even a low carb paleo diet. I don't care, but get the carbs out of your diet if you want to do that. And don't eat 6 meals a day. It doesn't make any sense. So now let's... So you don't hear the video. Oh, my goodness. I might have to re-record all of this. So anyway, I will just keep talking because I missed that because I was so in the video. And this worked yesterday when I was doing that. So never mind. He's talking about how he's eating all day long every day. So I think you kind of... Yeah. The funny thing is that I did that yesterday and I had everything set up and it was supposed to be working, and now it doesn't. So I'll sort that out for next weekend if I am sharing a video then, because I'm finished sharing his video. So I might just re-record that bit and repost it basically. So anyway, he's talking about how he's eating all day long basically. And that is not a good thing. So I think by my comments, you've probably figured out what's going on anyway. So hopefully that's not too much of a problem. So let's move over to the second part instead. And I thought I had my my quality check going on here because he said he was going to help me, but no. So let's have a look at the website again and look at their menus. Which why can't I find anything when I'm looking for it? I can find it on my computer, I just can't find it to share. So bear with me for a second and I'll try to find it. So we're going to have a look at their menus, and over here. So you can pick and choose yourself basically. And they have breakfasts, they have lunches, they have dinners, and they have snacks. So let's start with the breakfast. This is the cinnamon roll that I actually used for my thumbnail. And this is one of their best sellers. It's one of their best rated breakfasts. Their customers love waking up to piping hot pastry swirled with cinnamon and topped with thick cream cheese frosting. A decadent morning treat and a good source of fiber. It fits right into your diet plan. And look here, it's diabetes friendly, okay? So let's have a look at what's going on. Apparently it tastes really nice, blah, blah, blah. Nutrition facts. 4.5 grams of fat. Actually, before that, let's go back to the reviews because I found it interesting. Up here, you have the calories, you have the total fat, you have fiber, you have protein, but they're not telling you how many carbs are in the cinnamon rolls straight on the main page, which probably is the page that most people are going to be looking at. You have to click on the nutrition facts to get the nutrition facts. And we find out that in this perfect cinnamon roll that fits right into your diet plan, we have 29 grams of carbs. Okay, that's quite a lot. But when we look at the percentage here, it says 11%. So you might think that the cinnamon roll only contains 11% of carbohydrates, but this is not the case. We have to actually, it's a very, very sneaky food label. 1 serving per container, serving size 1 package. This, oh, I can't even, but this 29 grams of total carbohydrates is per serving size. Here, amount per serving, calories, etc. However, in the right-hand column down here is percentage of daily value. So the percentage of daily value will tell you how much nutrients is in a serving of food that is contributing towards a daily diet of 2,000 calories. So they're assuming that you're having a diet consisting of 2,000 calories, and this is 11% of carbohydrates contributing towards that, okay? Now, how much How many carbs are you supposed to eat according to the daily value? They recommend anything between 45 and 65%. I did some quick calculations and I have found out that Nutrisystem is basing this on about 60% carbs, just slightly under 60%. If 29% of carbohydrates is corresponding to 11% of the daily value. Right. So this is the daily value. These are this is how many carbs you have in there. Now I'm going to show you because it's easier for me to show you than just doing the calculation on the screen first, so you know what I'm actually doing. So I'm going to share another one with you here. So I've done this calculation. You have 180 calories, or it's actually kilocalories, but we're calling it calories, in the cinnamon roll, and you have 29 grams of carbs. 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories, okay? So we have to multiply that with 4, and we get 116 out of the 180 calories in this cinnamon roll is coming from carbohydrates. So the percentage of calories from carbs is 116 divided by 180, which means it's 64.4% of the calories that you're getting when you're eating a cinnamon roll is coming from your carbs. So, who on earth would recommend that you're eating something containing almost 65% of carbohydrates, which is actually even higher than the recommendation, for breakfast when you have diabetes? I don't know. Apparently Nutrisystem think that is totally okay and it fits right into your diet, but that is all BS. I also want to show you the ingredients because this is crazy. Look at the ingredient list. What actual F? That's a lot of shit going into a cinnamon roll. Non-fat milk, whole wheat flour, enriched bleached flour, blah, blah, blah. Powdered sugar with cornstarch, so that's sugar with some more sugar. Whey protein isolate, soybean oil. Yeah, have some bitch tits with your breakfast. It's perfect. Fig paste, more sugar. Fructose, more sugar. Then we have a little bit of margarine, more soybean oil, maybe, perhaps, also. And we can continue down this. We have carob bean gum. These are usually for the texture, cheese, eggs, more corn flour, more sugar, polysorbate 60. I think that's emulsifier, and I don't like a lot of things that you don't know what they are. This is probably not especially healthy for you. Yeah, I bet I can find some studies that says that is not ideal. And I love this one, vital wheat gluten. Really? I actually had to look that one up. I just saw it on their site, vital wheat gluten. So that means that basically, I don't know why they're not saying it, it's concentrated gluten, just gluten. So they add an extra gluten, which will make for really nice quality bread, if you like. The texture will be good, it will rise really well, it will be really fluffy and hold together well. That's why they want gluten. And then we have some more sugar. Also, more sugar, even more sugar, and some more locust bean gum, etc. So, would you really want to eat this cinnamon roll for breakfast? I think not. So let's have a look at some other things. I'm going to try, I don't know if you're actually seeing it like this, because now I want to see the chat as well if I can. You won't see the chat though, I don't think. Don't really know where you are anymore. Not there. Okay, let's get rid of this. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to scroll down, make sure that I can see your comments. Yes, so Patricia says that anything that has an ingredient list should be avoided. Yeah. Well, I assume that you hear me just fine on the website. Otherwise, I guess you would have told me. So let's scroll down. We have a look at, we have some lunches, we have some dinners, and we have some snacks. And let's have a look at the snacks, just because I'm a sugar addict. So let's have a look at this. So these are listed as top rated. So these are basically the 3 most popular snacks. And I want to have a look at the ice cream sandwich because I like ice cream. 130 calories, sure. Low calorie, I suppose, if you're going to have a snack. And the guy in the video said that he is, you probably didn't hear it, and I'm going to have to repost something and I have to redo that, but that's fine. He was saying that he can't live without ice cream, and he will probably turn into a pumpkin or something if he doesn't get ice cream, and he needs to have it every evening. So this is probably one of the things that he's eating. Nutrition facts: 27 grams of carbs in 130 calories. So just because I can, I will now go over and share a different screen with you. Just bear with me. I'm going to stop that one. I'm going to go to my calculator, and we're going to have a look at some calculations here. So how many grams of carbs did we say? We had 27 grams of carbs. Each gram of carbs is 4 calories. So 108 out of 130 grams of carbs. So 83% of this ice cream is carbs. And this is the best bit. Just have to find him again, or the website. This is the best bit. Scroll up. Diabetes friendly. How do you justify having a food that is 83% carbs as being diabetes friendly? It's totally crazy. Sorry, I'm making people hungry. So I really shouldn't be reading the chat when I'm doing this, because then I'm getting all lost and start looking at you. And then if you want, we can have a very quick look at the ingredient list. This is also a very, very long list of things: corn syrup, whey protein, more sugar, maltodextrin, polydextrose sugar, cellulose gel, cellulose gum, locust bean gum, carrageenan. There's so many additives. And sugar, caramel, color is also sugar, dextrose is sugar, corn flour is pretty much sugar when it enters your body, corn syrup is sugar, modified cornstarch, pretty much sugar, and then we have some soy and wheat. Awesome. This is exactly what we want to eat. So I say let's find something that looks kind of good. Let's go back to the breakfast option and see what they have. So they do have a lot of, I mean, a lot of this doesn't even look like breakfast to me. I'm used to have, I grew up eating like bread with smoked ham or something, etc. And this just looks crazy to me. So we actually have a turkey ham and cheese omelette. Let's have a look at that. Diabetes friendly. Okay. Lean smoked turkey, ham, and a combination of Swiss and cheddar cheese are folded into a fluffy egg white omelette. Okay, I thought egg white omelettes was the thing of the 80s. Good question, NutriKitty. So, fluffy egg white omelette. I mean, why on earth are we removing the egg yolks? The egg yolks are the part of the egg that contains the nutrients. Egg whites are just water and protein, pretty much, very little nutrients in there. So they want a high protein, diet friendly version of your favorite dinner for breakfast. Okay. So what do they actually put in here? Egg whites, modified cornstarch, xanthan gum, guar gum. They just put all of this shit in to keep the texture okay after they have prepared it and shipped it to you, so that it will still taste okay and feel okay in your mouth. So why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we eating these kind of foods? I have no idea. It's beyond me. Let's go back. We have a couple of other things down here that just add eggs, ham and cheese scramble. So at least you will get the full eggs if you're doing that on your own. But what is it that they're actually providing you with? What are they putting in there? So they give you spinach, ham with natural juices. The natural juices apparently contain water, salt, modified potato starch, potassium lactate, brown sugar, dextrose, sodium phosphates, sodium erythrobate, vinegar, corn syrup, sodium diacetate, sodium nitrate. That's natural juices. Just in case you're wondering, that's natural juices. All pigs carry that with them. Or maybe not. Have some kale with some oxalates, onions, cheddar cheese. And why not spice it up with some yeast extract? It's pretty much MSG, a lighter form of MSG. It has glutamates in it, but not to the same extent as MSG does. So, I mean, really? They're actually selling this shit and they're getting away with it? Humanimal, you missed the beginning. So Nutrisystem it's almost like Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig's or whatever. You can sign up for a weight plan and they will send you the food and you just eat that food. And if it doesn't say Nutrisystem on it, don't eat it. Pretty much what I tried to share with you in the video, that clearly the sound didn't work for you. So sorry for wasting 5 minutes of your time, but that's how it is. So I don't know if you want to have a look at any other foods. No matter what food I'm picking, it's pretty bad. This one, I scrolled through the dinners and I tried to find something that looked quite okay to eat, but it's just like pizza and lasagna and pasta and rice everywhere. And up here, yes, they do care about the calories. So this is a low calorie diet, basically. But calling yourself Nutrisystem, it makes it sound like you're all about nutrition, doesn't it? So actually, this one is the one that caught my eye because it's beef and beans, and there is no rice or anything with it. And I thought, maybe, just maybe, this one will be all right. And when you look at the nutrition facts, it's not too bad if we were just looking at what it contains. So it's like 22 grams of carbohydrates in a 220 calorie packet. It's not too bad. If you want to go keto, it is not okay. You're probably going to get out of ketosis, but hey, compared to everything else on this site, it's not too bad. But have a look at the ingredients. So here we go again. Why on earth are they putting so much shit in it? The autolyzed cheese extract. So have some MSG with that as well. Dextrose is sugar again. Oh, I love this. Grill flavor from sunflower oil. Okay, so who out there has ever tasted a sunflower oil that tastes like grill flavor? I have no idea how they do this. I seriously wonder what they've done to get sunflower oil to taste like grill flavor. I've heard about seaweed that tastes like bacon, but sunflower oil that tastes like grill flavor, no, that's new to me. Yes, hit like. I like when you hit like, even though the audio for the video didn't work. There we go. And I will just do a very short video to supplement this one with my comments to that, what he's actually saying. So I will redo that part and upload that as well, so that you have that one. Canola oil is something that drives me up the wall. It's not good. It's very unstable, oxidizes very easily. Beef stock, beef flavor, wondering what that is. Caramel color is sugar. Modified cornstarch, more sugar, maltodextrin, xanthan gum, yeast extract again. So have some more MSG with your MSG, etc. So yeah, I think pretty much done with whatever. I mean, even the best food that I could see on here is pretty bad. So that was pretty much all I had to say about that, unless you really want me to. Okay, so they burn the oil to make some grilled flavor. So basically, what they're doing is that they are oxidizing the oil. They're destroying the oil so that it will taste of grill. I don't know how you actually get the grill flavor anyway, but apparently you can. So let me have a look if I can find your questions, if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm going to go back to... Okay, so my quality control did say that there's no audio on the video, but he didn't bang the wall, which he could have done because he's sitting here. So I didn't know. Okay, so no commercial or available diet plans available in the US that works. None of them are about creating health. They are all about selling processed foods. Yes. So this is the thing that it's so hard, so sad that we are just focusing on losing the weight but not being healthy. I find that really, really sad, and I wish that there was someone out there actually creating a system that would appeal to the mass public, that was actually genuinely good for your health and helping you lose weight. But the absolute easiest way is to do it yourself. It's not hard to fry a steak plus minus the vegetables and add a little bit of fat to it. It's easier than heating up a pot noodle and add chicken strips like they want you to do in this program. Hi, Cactus Heart. I know that you're probably gone now. Thank you so much for popping in. Hey, Pim, how to stop my chocolate addiction? Okay, Ricky, do you want to stop your chocolate addiction? Is the first question. Sometimes we want to do it, but we don't want to do it. And if you don't really want to do it, it's going to be hard to do it because your brain will come up with so many excuses for why you shouldn't be doing it and how you're missing out, and everyone else is doing and eating whatever they want and you can't. So I have a few videos on my YouTube. You can go and search them, but one that is about how to emotionally handle these things and how to get over your cravings and allow your cravings is called Not Eating Sugar is Easy. And that was one of the first videos I posted. So if you go to that one, I will talk a bit about that. Patricia says he's doomed to tofiness. I don't think he's quite at tofu yet. Tofu is thin on the outside and fat on the inside, but yes, probably if he managed to lose weight. Okay. Yes, Necrokitty, sorry. YouTube betrayed her. It said I was still waiting for Pim the last 20 minutes. So I did post a comment because I scheduled my live stream on YouTube, and I did leave a comment to say that look for the live stream somewhere else because it won't be there. But in order to be able to share my screen with you, I have to go through another program, and you can see down which corner is it, some corner, that corner. It said Zoom, so I'm using Zoom today to screen share the things that I wanted to show you. And I couldn't actually get it to sync up with the current stream that I had scheduled for. So I had to start a new one, unfortunately. No, I did not get it to work. I will sort all of these things out for next week, and depending on what I'm talking about, I might not need to screen share, but we shall see. Cinnamon roll, I switched diet immediately. Yes. I mean, it sounds great. You can have pretzels for breakfast, whatever. Okay. So there is sugar in our food, even when we don't think there would be. Yeah. So whenever you're buying anything that is pre-made, check the ingredients, because they do add sugar to everything. And the reason they're doing that is because sugar is addictive. And if it's addictive and you like the taste, you're going to buy it again, and they will make more money. Canary Black, 0. Do the cravings really go away on carnivore? It seems like they don't, because carnivores still talk about pizza and beer and how boring the diet is. Yes. So, Canary Black, what I want to tell you is that the physiological cravings that come from your body producing a lot of insulin, so that it will want the sugar to store in the cells, and when it doesn't get that, it goes very low and it will start craving sugar. That part will go away. So we will get used to not feeding ourselves sugar all the time. But the need for the dopamine hit that you get whenever you eat sugar or something processed, it will still be there. And that is this uncomfortable feeling. That is why we're having cravings. It's an emotional thing. A craving is an emotion. So if you're having cravings, you are probably an emotional eater, because cravings are emotions. So there you go. And we all want those things because they make us feel good. They will release that dopamine in your brain, and that makes you happy for a little bit of time until it goes away. Then you want more. So for some people, going on a carnivore diet seems to be enough. They will curb their cravings and they will be fine with that. For very few people are fine forever. Most people, however, will look to spice it up. They will want pizza and they will want to make all sorts of things that taste a lot. So when I was pretty much carnivore, was doing really well, I started getting a salami addiction, because salami tastes really nice, and I wanted to eat salami every evening in front of the TV, because that gave me a dopamine hit then. So no, it doesn't actually take care of your cravings and get them away. If you can stay off with willpower and just keep doing a carnivore diet for a year or more, that's probably going to start going away. I couldn't do that. I need to actually process my cravings, and I need to allow them to be there and not responding to them, to teach myself to respond in a new way. So I'm building new neurological pathways, and I know that is going to work over time, but it's something that takes a very long time. Okay. Humanimal. I feel like anyone doing Nutrisystem is going to die early when it pans out that they can't digest anything at all by the time they're 53. Unfortunately, you might be kind of right there. So NecroKitty asked, do these foods have any real nutrition? They don't even list the nutrition in terms of vitamins and minerals. I suspect they have some, but if they would be nutritionally complete, I do not think so. So they probably don't want to list that, because then people would start asking questions. Okay. NecroKitty says, this stuff sounds like prison food. It's funny that you say that, because when I was scrolling through the menu, I was thinking about the food that I was served in school as a kid. It looks very similar. But okay. So a coworker is doing Weight Watchers, and all she's talking about is points. Yeah. carbs. Very misleading. Sorry for being a little bit slow reading here. I don't have a co-host. Oh, okay. So who is the manufacturer? Manufacturer of, I assume that you mean the manufacturer of the Nutrisystem. Let's have a look if we can find it quickly. I kind of doubt that they would put it out there, but let's have a quick look. Let's just have a look at a meal and see what this says. I doubt that they would put it out there, to be honest, but no, prep method is just how you prepare. Sorry, I don't know the answer to that, and it will take me too long on this live stream to find out, but I'm sure, I mean, you can always email them, I suppose. What just happened? Ah, okay. Yes, it's hard to follow the chat when I'm in the other window. Oh, this is such a good point, Humanimal. I feel like people are so sure they can't make the right decisions on their own. Yes. And that is what they're playing on. They're playing on people thinking that they don't have knowledge or they don't know well enough what they should be doing. And they will just trust these manufacturers or these systems that are just selling a whole solution, because that is obviously very easy to do, and they would take advantage of those people. And I think more and more people are just going to do that because there's so much misinformation and information out there that you're going to get overwhelmed and you don't know who to believe or what to believe. So if someone has a proven system for something, it's really easy to jump onto that and just give them the responsibility for your results, basically. I don't know if you saw that, but they do have money back guarantee if you're not losing the weight. So the thing is that you can lose weight on any low calorie diet. You don't have to do Nutrisystem. So it's very easy for them to get you to actually lose weight, especially in the beginning. So if you're going from any diet to a low calorie diet, first few weeks you're going to lose a tremendous amount of weight probably before you're stalling and before your system is catching up, and you will hit the plateau and just get stuck there. Oh, okay, maybe she meant the manufacturer of the actual flavoring. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. My emotions are in the freezer right now. They look like Lindt, white chocolate, and powder mix. Okay. Yes, study my sugar series again. It's good. Okay. Okay, so I have cravings if my fat is low and when I did OMAD. That's interesting. So is that if together or separately? So if your fat is low and you're doing OMAD, or if your fat is low or you're doing OMAD? So if you eat a lot of fat and doing OMAD, will you still have the cravings? Now, OMAD might not be for everyone, and in that case, I would still recommend that you do some sort of intermittent fasting. So you could do, let's say, a 6 or 8 hour eating window and have 16 hours of not eating, and make sure that you're eating high fat during that period. And I think that you might be quite all right with that, because that means that you can eat between, let's say, 10 and 6, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., or between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So you still have a decent amount of time to eat. And you just stop quite a few hours before bed, but not too early so that you're getting really hungry. Or I recommend that you're eating, the earlier in the day you're eating, the better. We have a circadian thing going on there that regulates our hormones as better in the morning. So you usually actually better handling carbs better in the morning. Your whole metabolism actually works better if you're eating when it's light outside rather than eating late. Okay. Oh, Dragonfire, you're a food inspector. I love that. Can you not come and talk on my channel about what's going on, or are you not allowed to do that? Because that would be really, really interesting. Okay. For me, yes. Yeah, so human animal is doing OMAD. OMAD works really well for me as well. At the moment, I'm doing 8-hour eating window. I'm going to get that down a bit. Okay, so NecroKit is asking, if I get extra fat from heavy cream, I seem to do well, but if I eat a lot of cheese, I get constipated, both are dairy. Why is that? Probably more calcium in the cheese. I'm just guessing now because I don't really know the answer, but you also have a lot more proteins in the cheese. Don't know if that would impact that. Okay. Yes, so Patricia has a good point here. In the US, there are no requirements for packaged food company to reveal the supply chains of manufacturing partners because they don't want you to know where it's coming from. And as you saw, that's I suppose we could always send an email to Nutrisystem and ask who's making their food and see if they reply. Yes, the less carbs, sugar you have, the less cravings you get. In my experience, Nutrisystem are going to create some cravings. Yeah, that's exactly my point. So the whole system is very, what do you say? It's very tempting, I guess, if you are a sugar addict and you think that you can lose weight while having 3 snacks per day. Obviously, you didn't hear what he said, but he was saying he was having, what did he have? So he had breakfast, and then he had a snack, and then he had another snack, I think, and then he had lunch, and then he had a mid-afternoon snack, and then dinner. And obviously, he was having ice cream in the evening, so he's eating 7 times per day. And 3 of those are going to be sweet things, at least. Something that I actually didn't show you. I will show you that very quickly because I just remembered it now. But what they had on their page, wherever it is, why can I never find it? It's like things are just jumping around. So go back. So have a look at these lunches. See all lunch options. So we have food, chocolate, food, chocolate, yogurt bar, chocolate. So basically they're saying that you can have a chocolate bar for lunch if you are on the go. And so you could have something sweet for breakfast, like a cinnamon roll. Then you will have a sweet snack. Then you will have lunch. Then you will have a sweet snack. Then you will have dinner. And then you will have a sweet snack in the evening. So that's 6 times per day that he recommends that you eat. So basically he's saying that you can eat sweet things for 4 out of your 6 meals as well. So yeah, I rest my case. It's just bullshit. So Irma, yes, I found out that I have to start eating early. Yeah, It works really well for me. For a while, I stopped eating breakfast and stopped eating early and pushing it later, because in this society we often want to eat dinner late, and we want to eat when we're watching TV or whatever, on the sofa in the evening. So it's easy to want to push that later, but actually our metabolism work better when we're eating early. So if you can, just push it earlier and try to, go to bed when your digestive system is already resting, unless you're getting problems with sleeping doing it that way. Yeah, next good point might be that it's fermented, maybe. Could be with the cheese and the constipation from cheese, but not from cream. And also keep in mind that cream is, I don't know how much cream you're eating versus how much cheese you're eating, but cream is majorly fat. So if you're only eating cream with nothing else, it might be, coming through your intestines much quicker than the fat that you get from the cheese. So Nick says that I found on carnivore, I always feel sick at night. I have no clue why that would be. That sounds very strange. Yeah, sea runner, eating early in the day works best for me. 2 meals a day with roughly 8-hour eating window. Yeah, that works really well for me as well, I found. So Nick says, which carbs do you recommend if someone is on a low budget and needs them for sport performance or to gain some weight, but won't have the cravings as such? So for me personally, I'm one who's not very sensitive to being affected by bad food quality. So I could have things like a sweet potato or rice, and I would feel fine if I was doing that. Other people might not feel good because there's nightshades or they contain toxins and they're not doing well on those. So if you want to have something that is as toxin-free as possible, you would probably go to some organic berries of some kind. But, many people do okay on them. Is it okay long term? Maybe not. But if you do it every day, yeah, probably. If you do it once a week, I don't think it's a huge problem if you're feeling fine. But we're all different. We all react to it differently. Some people have abused their bodies for 30, 40, 50 years. And in that case, they might not be able to tolerate that. So it's really hard for me to just say, yes, eat this or eat that. What I'm going to do with my own diet right now is I'm pretty much carnivore. I'm eating spices. I'm allowing myself some garlic, and I actually made some pesto yesterday. And on top of that, I have a bag of blueberries in the freezer because I love blueberries. And I know that when I'm going strict carnivore, I don't feel good. I need a little bit of carbs clearly to make me feel better. And I always done good on a ketogenic diet. So I'll just say, go with something that isn't affecting you and that makes you actually feel good if you need to do that. Okay. So Humanimo says, I prefer quality rice like Oz rice if needing carbs. Okay. 2 pork chops for breakfast at 7 a.m. Lovely. So the commonly recommended carbs for athletic performance in the carnivore community are raw honey, raw milk, dextrose powder, or white rice. But this isn't a suggestion that you take them. So yeah, I mean, honey is sugar. Raw milk, sure, but you need to drink a lot of raw milk to get enough sugar, I think. Because I'm assuming that you want a decent amount of carbs if you're talking about athletic performance, and that's what you want to be doing. But if a small amount, if you feel that is helping your performance, go for it. Perfect. Cortisol connected to metabolism digestion. It could be. That's a bit of a trick question, maybe. So Cortisol is a stress hormone, so if you are feeling stressed for some, but it could be obviously external stress is what we think about most often, but you can have metabolic stress as well. So it's entirely possible. I would, however, say that cortisol, you can mess it up a bit with your diet, but more with the circadian rhythm, I say. If you are stressing your body in that way, and if you are subjecting yourself to a lot of artificial lights, etc., that's probably going to be worse. Very interesting question, though. Manuka honey, that's from New Zealand, yeah. Okay. Thanks for answer, Pim. Very open-minded. I'm trying to not be, the thing is that even if, let's say that a carnivore diet is what we have evolved as humans, eating a very high protein diet and be mostly animals, doesn't necessarily mean that that is what will get us to perform the best. So I think that we need to look at things like optimal health on one hand and then optimal performance on the other hand. Can we get the best of both, or are we able to, eating optimally and perform optimally at the same time? Or would we benefit from actually adding a little bit of something that might not be optimal for our health to perform even better? I think that is entirely possible, and that's probably why a lot of people recommend a little bit of carbs. If you just want to perform well, but you're not like a competing athlete, maybe you want to stick with doing what's optimal and not adding the extra carbs that might not be necessary because it might be better for you. So there might be a little bit of trade-off, and I think you have to decide for yourself what's most important to you. Is it to be 100% optimal for your health, or is it to actually get the little bit of extra performance that you could get on top? Is it worth that? That's up to you to decide, but just having the information and making your own informed decision is what I think is most important here. Okay, so actually I'm at 10 minutes over what I was going to be streaming at, so we're at the at the end. Has anyone seen the croissant diet on Biohackers Lab channel today? No, but that sounds very scary. And I might have to go and have a look at the croissant diets, because if that is what I think it is, then I'm gonna be scared. But if it's a Biohackers Lab channel, then they might have something to say about that. So no, I haven't seen that one. Very interesting. So I'm at the end of all the questions. And I would just want to thank you for being here. And if you didn't see this from the beginning, then I'm going to re-record a part where he is talking and my comments on that, and post that as a supplement to this video, because obviously you missed half of the presentation because sound didn't work. Yay. And I thought it did. So I'm going to have to look into that. It did work yesterday, but where are we? Except So, hi Kim, my name is Pim, but thank you anyway. Great channel, I love you. Thanks so much. Thoughts on drinking up to 4 liters of distilled water daily and adding in the magnesium, etc. Why would you want to drink 4 liters? Does it have any health benefits? I don't think so. That is one of the myths. I think I once had a lecture with a kidney specialist, and that was when I was studying nutrition, and he just came in and started counting the water bottles on the bench and said, okay, I can see this many water bottles. This is bullshit. Drink when you're thirsty. You don't have to drink water all the time. It's not good for your kidneys. So I have taken that with me because I've never been drinking much. So obviously that spoke directly to me. And I can live on 1 liter of water a day or less if it's not hot, and I'm fine. I'm almost 43 years old in February. I still don't have any kidney problems. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to drink when I'm thirsty. So 4 liters sounds a little bit excessive. Thank you, Nanks. Yes, I will be streaming every Sunday, and obviously this was the first one I've tried to do it through another program than YouTube, just so that I could share my screen. So there was a little bit of fuck up there. I'll sort that out for next weekend. Hopefully, it was working yesterday, so I'm a bit disappointed that my quality check didn't quite work today. So I'm going to have to check it early in the morning before I do it next time. So I will be back at this time every Sunday for the foreseeable future, and I'll be talking about something, and then just check your questions and have a little chat with you because it's cool. And yeah. Yes, thank you very much. You are more than welcome to share my videos, to share my channel, like the video, like everything, and subscribe, obviously. And apparently I'm super calming. That's cool. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. Lovely to see you. Cool to be online with you on my own channel this time. And we have 27 people watching, so that's super awesome. Take care. I will see you again next Sunday. Bye.